Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to install the Traxxas big bore shocks onto my Axial Wraith. The part number that was recommended was the big bore shocks, part number 2662. And to put on the big bore shocks, I got a set of Axial 14 by 70 springs. I'm not really sure if the stock springs are the same as these springs that I picked up. These were only a few bucks, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Figured I'd get them and see if I need them. If I don't need them, no big deal. I do have the Wraith Spawn kit, so the kit came with the aluminum icon shocks. These shocks did well. I ran them a few rock climbs, different videos I've posted. You've seen them perform, so they did well. I did lose the bottom cap on the driver's side front. I put a Traxxas piece at the bottom here just to hold the spring in place, but it doesn't really fit the way it's supposed to. Alright, so enough jibber jabber. I'll get into the big bore shocks and get them set up, and then I'll start the installation. Alright, so in each package you'll find 2 springs. The springs do not have oil in them, but they do come with the aluminum top cap and the aluminum body. Everything is black, of course, but overall they look pretty nice. They've also included some silicone oil. The weight is not actually notated on here, so I'll have to check this out to see how much, see what the weight is. But I'm not too worried because I have a ton of shock oil. And you also get the standard plastic clips. These are used for preload on the springs, and you actually get the bottom spring retainers in the pack. So of course, to do the full upgrade, you will need 2 packs. Okay, so spring removal is pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is take off the wheel and get ready to go ahead and remove the screws holding in the shock. I think I'll also take off the body just to make things a little easier for myself. While I have the wheel off, I'll show you I do have the Traxxas aluminum hex hubs. I have these because on the back of the Proline rim it has more of a flat surface, and if I use the Axial standard hex hub, I was afraid I wasn't going to get good contact and that I would start rounding out the plastic. So I went with the Traxxas aluminum hex. These are the standard hex hubs for the Axial Wraith. I don't know if I can get a good shot in here, but they have a little top flange that sticks up, and they seat inside the stock rim, but they do not sit well with the flat surface of the Proline rim here. So what would end up happening is you really wouldn't get good contact in with the rim. So you would eventually round out the outside. So that's why I went with the Traxxas hex hub. Alright, so I have the stock shock off. Now this front passenger side shock, it was leaking. I do have oil pretty much all over the place. I've also taken off the stock spring on the icon shock. I'm going to go ahead and reuse this just until I get a feel of how the big bores are going to perform. I think this will work out okay. And the springs actually look to be about the same as the ones that I bought. So I'll go ahead and hold on to these, and you never know, I might use them in the future. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the top of the shock, and I'm going to fill this up with 30 weight oil. So because the other shock leaked, I want to go ahead and clean this spring up. Just use a paper towel to get the shock oil off and whatever dirt and grime got kind of stuck on the oil. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. And in the parts bag, there is the bottom of the shock. So I'll open this up, grab the bottom. This is plastic, of course. And I'll go ahead and put that on. Alright, so this shock's done. Alright, so what I'm going to do for the top here is I want to use these little pieces. They're off an axial parts tree. I'm just going to slide them in the top, and it'll make the screw fit in nice and snug. Alright, so I'm simply going to go ahead and reinstall this. There is a spacer that you have to make sure you put back on. And I'll go ahead and install this back to where it was. And I'll go ahead and get the bottom put back on. Alright guys, so the front's on. I'm going to go ahead and put the tire back on. And I'll move on to the back. Hey guys, a few things for this channel too. I have a kit coming soon, so I am going to do my first build series. Pretty excited to do a build series. I've built three axials now, so I'm really excited to get into another one. This shock here was leaking as well. Oil all over the place. Gotta love it. Also too, on the channel I picked up a camera for my brand new Traxxas Alias. So I've had a little fun flying it around, giving it a test. So I found a little 720p camera that I'll be showing you, and I'm hoping to get some aerial footage. It's been super windy, it's been cold, it's been raining. The weather has just been unreal this year. So really haven't gotten outside as much as I would have liked to by now. And guys, yes, another leaky shock. But that's why I'm going with the big bore shocks. Hopefully I won't have to worry about the leaks as much. Also coming up on the channel, I have Will It Fit 3, where I test the Bronco body on different chassis and things. Seems to be a popular series. At the time of taping here, I'm at 1,000 views. So I really can't thank everyone enough for the support. I really appreciate you checking out the videos. This channel has grown pretty well since it started. And I really appreciate all the positive feedback. Definitely appreciate the subscribers. By the way, this is a real pain in the butt getting this one in here. Probably easier ways of doing it, but I'm trying to be lazy. But I definitely love the questions, comments, anything I can do to help out somebody. So I definitely relied on YouTube a lot when I first started. I've only been in this hobby for about a year or so, but definitely enjoy it. And you know, I've learned a few things, so if I could teach somebody or help somebody out, I'd be happy to. So more than willing to answer any questions that come my way. This is going to be another one because of the design where the drive shaft comes in. I'm going to have to use the pliers to hold the nut on the back of this screw. This one's a little easier than the back. I have more room to work, but cross wrench is so much easier. Alright, so this is about the only shock I think that maybe it did leak a little bit, but we'll say for the sake of argument that I was the one who screwed up the assembly of the shock, but I don't know, 4 for 4. It's pretty shoddy work on my part. Plenty of videos on shock assembly, but all I'm doing is filling, making sure I get all the air out, topping it off if need be, and getting the cap on. When I put the cap on, I want to just make sure that the inside bladder is in, that it didn't fall out. But other than that, pretty simple stuff. Alright, so I got the last shock installed. I'll go ahead and put this last tire on, and I will be done. Alright guys, so all done. The Traxxas big bore shocks are on. Everything is set up, filled with 30 weight oil. The shocks aren't that expensive. I think I picked them up for about $25 each, so about $50 for the entire set. But compared to a Proline shock or something, this is pretty cheap. So again, highly rated and not too expensive. Alright guys, so that's about it for this one. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Please click that like button. Chief Hopper and I will clean up our mess. Alright guys, have a great day.